Hello everyone and welcome back to another 3v3 match for the Elite mod, Dawn of War 2. We have a themed match, 3 Imperial Guard versus 3 Tyranids. For the Imperial Guard we have Rig, Rottw, and Minikid, or Ohmism. And for the Tyranids we have Alphablades, Duff, and Red Killer. This is going to be our first themed match. We'll see who wins, the Emperor's Light or the darkness of the Tyranids. The ever-consuming Tyranid Swarm. Oh, by the way, map is Cathari Ruins. Looks pretty cool. I wanted it to be jungle themed since it's going to involve Tyranids. Would make sense they'd be fighting in a jungle. A lot of biomass there. And apparently the planet is important enough for the IG to hold their ground and try to push them back. If all the players overload. This match brought to you by Blueberry Bagels. They're damn good. That's our sponsor today. Blueberry Bagels. And here we go. Once again, we will be taking the side of the blue team. This is a pretty long map.
There is a requisition point.
And the guard are now out in force. Inquisitor leading her guardsmen. I think we have, what, 2 Inquisitors? No, we have 2 Lord Generals and 1 Inquisitor. The Tyranid Swarm is also advancing. We have 2 Hive Tyrants and a Ravener. I don't think I've seen a Ravener played in this game yet. Guardsmen slowly pushing up. They will be meeting in the middle here. And we have our first skirmish about to go off. Some Hormigons versus guards. Totally ignoring the guards, just wanting that capture point, or that resource point. Ravener hero putting down some fire. I don't know what the Ravener does. I've not seen it yet. And on the right side we have Hive Tyrant versus Sentinel and Lord General. Hive Tyrant deciding not to try and go for the victory point. More guardsmen coming up. Inquisitor ready to go into battle. Multiple Hormigon broods pulling up here on the left side, taking that victory point for the Tyranids. Ravener holding off multiple guardsman squads, plus the Lord Commander. This is in favor of red right here. They're holding up a lot of the forces on the blue team with only 1 hero while they try and take this victory point and get more reinforcements up. Right side is still a battle. We have multiple Hormigon broods coming in, advancing against the Lord General. Guardsmen flanking, trying to do what they can with their flashlights, but they are going to be forced out of here or they will die. And there they go. They are in full withdrawal. Sentinel trying to do what they can. Not much you can do against so many Hormigons. Left side, Guardsmen have also been pushed back by the Termagants and Hive Tyrants. At least those Guardsmen have. But the other Guardsmen that are fighting the Ravener are still there, holding their ground, building up some defenses. And maybe they'll support the Inquisitor? Maybe not. It looks like the right side, the Hive Tyrant and their Hormigons actually pulled back away from the Sentinel and the Lord General. Here they go. They come in again. And thinking about it again. Alright, so they are falling back. Meanwhile, the Inquisitor trying to hold her own against a swarm of Hormigons. Only so much one Inquisitor can do. And we have some more Termagants on the field trying to take it to these Guardsmen, but they are backed up by a multi-laser tower, and they are forced to pull back a little bit. Meanwhile, the Termagants here are taking the left side victory point. No one contesting the middle as of yet. Ooh. And the red Tyranid player here finally had enough of the Lord General just sitting there, advanced on his position, got stunned, and is continuing to advance. Other Guardsman squad coming up to reinforce. Left point now in the hands of the red team. The points are now ticking away for the blue team. And this Imperial Guardsman player is in retreat. Sentinel trying to hold the ground. And is also now withdrawing, leaving the Lord General there with his 2 stormtroopers to take on this horde of Tyranid. Meanwhile, on the left side, these Guardsmen are going to try and force an engagement against the Tyranids who pushed up to their power node. Leaving these Tyranids free to take... Oh, never mind, sorry. He did leave a Guardsman squad and that multi-laser turret back there. But now they're going to be fighting against 2 fronts with Tyranids on both sides. Hormagaunts coming in, just reaping into those guardsmen. Trying to run away, drag them in front of the multi-laser turret. This squad barely pulling out. And this guardsman position just got overwhelmed with, oh wow, Warrior Brood already on the field. Ravener's distracting this multi-laser turret, and the guardsmen are in a full retreat. Lord General trying to hold back the Hive Tyrant. He needs to get out of there. There he goes. But we have guardsman reinforcements coming up, and there we go. They are also now in with retreat. Is that a crossbow? That is a crossbow. That looks really cool. Alright, so the Inquisitor coming up with a guardsman squad. Trying to prevent this Warrior Brood from capping that power node. There's a lot of fire for her to take right there. Points are now 2-1, still in favor of red team. Blue team did move a guardsman squad up there in the middle to take that uncontested point. And now we have more guardsmen against Tyranids on the right. Tyranids still have the numbers advantage, and the guardsmen pulling back a little bit. Inquisitor now in full retreat. One guardsman squad against the Ravener, and the Termagants, if they pull up, is not going to be enough. Here they come. But we have some guardsman reinforcements. Warrior Brood saying no, and now they are suppressed. What is this? A hive node. I honestly do not know what that does, but it looks disgusting. Is that someplace where they can get reinforcements from? Anyway, this Warrior Brood has a Barbed Strangler, which is the suppressive weapon that you've seen. And now they are retreating from the Catachan squad and the Guardsman squads. Meanwhile, mid is now being contested by a group of Hormagaunts against the Guardsmen. Guardsmen are not going to win that fight in melee. And the Tyranid player on the right side has taken all the resource points in the area and is now pushing up against the Guardsmen who set up a multi-laser turret. But that's not going to be enough to hold back this Tyranid Hive. Tyranid Swarm. Nice, the IG got a excuse me, a bunker down here to try and help secure this left power node and the left victory point, which they are now taking. Tyranid do not have enough forces in the area to push back this assault, I think. Not with 2 Sentinels and multiple Guardsman squads. Meanwhile, the right side Tyranid, though, continuing to push against the right side here, going up against the second power node point. If they take this, that is going to be devastating for the blue team, losing that much power. And so far, it is going to be uncontested. This player needs time to reinforce their squads. Left side is going strong, though. The Tyranids are forced to retreat from the Sentinels. They now have the left victory point, but unfortunately, they did lose the midpoint to the Hormagaunts. The Guardsmen could not hold their own. They tried their best, but they did get defeated by the Siding Talons? I think these things have Siding Talons. Adrenal Clans, too. That's a possible upgrade, I think, in the tabletop version is Siding Talons. I'm not sure if they get that in this game, though. Hive Tyrant saying no, wanting to do one last hurrah against the Guardsman squad, and now is retreating. They are taking the power node. They have this firmly in their hands. I imagine some defenses are going to be going up soon. Wow. This right side player, Minikid, needs some reinforcements here. Tyrant pushed them back all the way up to the base. And this Guardsman squad from Rottw is not going to be enough to push back the swarm of Warrior Brood, Hormagaunts, Termagants. Here comes the Catachan squad. Oh, nice blast from the Catachan squad. But is it going to be enough? Now they are suppressed. And they are forced to retreat as well.
Sir, we're losing a power node.
The Imperial Guard are on the run on the right side. Luckily, though, they do still at least control the left side, but their points are down to 294 to 500. They need to get some kind of Guardsman squad or something up to at least the middle point to at least neutralize it, to halt this bleeding that they have going on right now. Guardsmen are now in full retreat on the left side too. Not looking good for the Imperial Guard. Just so many Tyranids. Tyranid Swarm is real. Sentinels trying to do what they can. They are eventually going to be turned back by this amount of numbers though. Right side, this Tyranid player is still pushing back the Guardsmen right outside their own base. They're trying to do what they can, but against these suppressive weapons, the Hormagaunts, Termagants, and the Hive Tyrant, it's just proving to be too much for the poor Guardsman squads. They got a Sentinel up for support. Left side has been almost totally abandoned except for this one Lord General who refuses to fall back. Simply refuses. I commend you, Lord General. Here we go. Alright. Two of the players finally managed to push back the red Tyranid player, and they may get a nice push here, hopefully on the middle point and the right point, to try and push back the victory points back into their favor. They are sitting at 250 to 500. They do have some time, though. It's going to take a little while for the red team to get their forces back and move back up to the front line. There we go. The Sentinel is now capping the middle point. Meanwhile, the left side, the Lord General is right there, still fighting against the Hive Tyrant. There we go. He's now retreating. This bunker is going to be dropping pretty quick.
Our allied structure is under attack.
And here we go. The Guard are in full mobilization on the right side. They managed to neutralize the midpoint, which halted the bleeding of the victory points. Now they will try to capture the right side. The right side Tyranid player is still licking their wounds at the base. I'm sure they will be advancing shortly. And left side is being consumed by the Tyranid horde. And they are going to be pushed back again, losing the power node on the left side, and soon to follow the victory point. And Red Killer has dropped from the game.
Requisition points been acquired by our allies.
Interesting.
They may have us here, sir.
Well, that is one less Tyranid player for the
Our node is
Tyranids.
away. Victory point acquired by our mates, sir.
And here we go. So that was the right side player. So Red Killer was doing an excellent job keeping the Guardsmen at bay. But now I believe they're taken over by a computer player? Since the Hive Tyrant is still moving around?
Allies have captured a requisition point.
Alright, so the Tyranids managed to recapture the midpoint. And yes, Red Killer, okay, is now AI. Well, we're just going to have the game keep going. Catachan squad getting torn to bits by the Hormigons. Let's see, on the left side, they're trying to push back and get that victory point there. Still a lot of Tyranids there to deal with. Suppressive weapons going down. Termagants shooting their, I forget what, the spine something. I don't know the name of the Tyranid weapons. And the Guardsmen are forced to fall back from the left side. Oh, here we go. Another Guardsman player coming up with his squads. Is it going to be enough? I don't know. There are multiple warrior brutes back here. And now there are Tyranids coming from behind as well. These Guardsmen do not have much of a chance. And they are pushed back from the left side once again by the combined might of the Tyranid Swarm. We got some Gene Stealers on the field as well. So it is still 2-1 in red favor, even after Red Killer has dropped. This Warrior Brood not giving up the chase. There we go. And we have a Lone Inquisitor against a Hive Tyrant. Not a fight that she is going to win. On the right side here, it looks like they are being pushed back by a Gene Stealer Brood. And the IG are not looking good. They still have one control point on the right, but they are still bleeding points, down to 180 to 473. They have lost a lot of their resources. They may still be able to come back if... Well, I don't know. But having Red Killer actually leave the game can only help them. So maybe that's what they needed to hopefully turn this around. Alright, trying to make a push here on the center point. There is a Warrior Brood guarding, and they are thinking twice about it. There we go. That's one of Red Killer's units there. Meanwhile, on the left side, Guardsmen are trying to push up again. Trying to get back at least one of their power points. And mid, it looks like the Tyranids are collapsing on these Guardsman squads and Lord General. There is a heavy turret up, helping out a little bit, and we have Stormtroopers taking the midpoint. They have managed to neutralize it, so they are stopped bleeding points. It looks like they're maybe able to actually cap it. And they are neutralizing the left point as well. We'll see if the Tyranids push them back off, though. That's a massive Tyranid Swarm coming in on left. Stormtroopers got pushed off by this Hive Tyrant. But the heavy turret... There we go. With the help of the heavy turret, the Hive Tyrant fell for Alphablades. Stormtroopers trying to get out of there. And now the Red Killer AI is taking over the right side, and all he needs to do is capture that left or that right point. Tyranids push the IG once again out of left. They're trying to fight, flaming the Tyranids as best they can. Chimera supports. Oh! They actually are pushing the Tyranids back. Chimera's rolling up, but those Gene Stealers are going to tear it to pieces if it doesn't get out of there. Oh. Lord General trying to intercept. Gene Stealers have their target. They want that Chimera. Meanwhile, the Guardsmen are pushing forward, just flaming the Tyranids to death. And once again, capturing the left point. It is now 2-1 in favor of the blue team. Gene Stealers in full retreat. Meanwhile, the AI player, Alpha is now taking over the right victory point. But it looks like the Guardsmen are capping the mid, so it's still going to be 2-1 in favor of blue. Chimera kind of isolated. All these towers coming up. Not exactly sure what they do, but they look menacing. Chimera pushing away this warrior brood. On the right side, it looks like they are trying to take that right victory point. There's only just the one group of venom brood there, and they are being pushed back. And in mid, it looks like the Tyranids are trying to take the mid cap point, but there is a plasma turret up that is going to stall them very briefly. But it needs a lot of support to do anything. Those Hormagaunts are just going to tear it to pieces. But it will take a while. What in the heck? I do not know what's going on here. But it is messing those Guardsmen up really bad. Plasma turret is now dead. Or destroyed, allowing them to take the middle point back again. But then now they are taking the right point. So it's still going to be 2-1. Red point sticking down to 383. Alright, so now it looks like they're going to try to take the left power node point. Chimera holding this. Wow, actually taking both these power points. We have another push from the Tyranids here on the right. Not enough Guardsmen to hold against this swarm of Tyranids. They are going to definitely lose this victory point that they just got. There they are. They are now retreating.
A victory point is slipping away.
And rethinking about it. Got a chance trying to do some damage. Left side firmly in control of the Guardsmen now. Ravener Alpha taken to this Lord General and his retinue. And the Catachans trying to get the Warrior Brood off the midpoint, but they already have it capped. It is now a dead even game. Well, not dead even, but it is a neutral game. No team is losing points currently. Catachans forced to retreat. What in the what? Ooh, that guy just got destroyed. Swarm Lord is on the field. Wow, the Swarm Lord. Holy crap. That is not what the Guardsmen want to see. This guy, I have played against him in the tabletop, and he is no joke. He is no joke. Alright, so now it is 2-1 in favor of red team with a Swarm Lord on the field. That is very scary. Oh my gosh. Alright, Swarm Lord leading a charge of Warrior Brood. Oh, and by charge I mean running away from the Guardsman base. They don't need to push them that far. They have 2 of the 3 control points. Second Swarm Lord. 2 Swarm Lords on the field. Ooh, brutal. Just look at these guys. The Swarm Lord is a nasty, nasty unit in tabletop. Meanwhile, left side, guards still do have control of it, but it looks like the Swarmlord is going to come over here and try to change that. By first taking care of this Chimera. Wait, there we go. Change direction, try to take care of this Chimera. And now just advancing on the poor guardsman. You just have no chance at all of taking out a Swarmlord. And the blue team is now down to 85 points. They really need to capture or at least neutralize one more point. It is getting close to the end. Even with all this concentrated fire, the Swarmlord is just soaking it up and not caring at all. Meanwhile, the second Swarmlord is trying to keep this player contained in their base. Doing a really good job at that. This Swarmlord now back to full HP. Oh boy. Does not care about your fire, your plasma, your melta. Does not care. Second Swarmlord coming to join the fun. Heard about all the fun this one is having, killing guardsmen. They're trying to neutralize the midpoint, but there is just too much Tyranid presence there. And here we go, this Chimera is just getting beaten down by the Swarmlord. I'm surprised it takes this many hits for it to kill it. Bane Wolf trying to make it out of there. More guardsmen coming in from the right. They are trying their best to at least neutralize this midpoint. And this player's guardsmen are now in full retreat, leaving one guardsman player left to try and neutralize this point, which they did. So the bleeding has stopped at 39 points, but there are still 2 Swarmlords in this area. Here we go, dropping off reinforcements in the way of a heavy turret. Don't think that's going to be able to counter 2 Swarmlords, but they're trying. And there we go, the Swarmlord has pushed those Catachans off the point. It is still neutral, they do have to cap it, but this game is very close to being over. Not even all these guardsmen, they have no chance against the Swarmlord. The second one coming in, advancing on the heavy turret, it does not care. We need to see some, there we go. We have a last cannon on the field. That can at least do some damage to the Swarmlord. They need about 2 more of these. There we go, the Swarmlord is actually at 1/3 health. There we go. And the Swarmlord is down! One last cannon. If only they had these a little sooner. They are now bleeding points again. They need more anti-armor. There is also a Carnifex on the field. As if 2 Swarmlords were not enough, now there's a Carnifex backup as soon as one of them drops, leaving the guardsmen to deal with now a Carnifex and a Swarmlord. Oh my gosh. Bleeding points down to 13. I'm glad that we got to at least see a Carnifex on the field before this game was over. Looks like the Tyranid are going to be having full reign of this planet and so much biomass to absorb. Good game to the Imperial Guard, but they could not hold back the Tyranid Swarm. Mass chaos just going on right now. Good game to all involved. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you all next time. Take care.